Do you want to make 30 divines per hour? I got a new strat, my best farm I've ever done. So I changed my fortress farm. I improved it greatly. We never have to open barrels ever again. As you can see, we're running Righteous Fire now, so the barrels auto open when I get nearby. As well, I skipped Bleak Mechanic, and we made 30 divines per hour. Without a divine altar, this strat is hella consistent. We're running Fortress. We're boss rushing. We do altars. We're actually running no map device mod, so we don't even delete the extra 4C per map. We're not increasing the chance of other scarabs like domination. We get a ton of really good scarabs. All the barrels get opened. We do really fast maps, like 2 to 3 minutes of a fortress, and that's T17, the gigantic maps. And we also can even AFK the boss still, and we get to run like 2 domination scarab, monstrous lineage, a scarab of elder, and a scarab of influence or whatever, the one that hordes, the one that gives you 40% influence pack size. So we're getting extra 40% influence pack size of the Eater of Worlds and the Elder, and then we get an extra 40% increased pack size of magic monsters of the entire map, and then we still get 2 domination shrines plus the extra shrines from my Atlas tree. We get the increased duration. I also run the node on my tree, on my passive tree now. I got a new rune, Rune graft. I run Rune graft of the warp, so buffs on you expire slower and debuffs on you expire faster, 30%. This is so that when you get the minions and you can't deal damage for 3 seconds, you can actually make it only 2 by making it expire faster. And then you can also make the buffs on you expire slower, so things like Feeding Frenzy, the shrines, if you ran Phase Run, you can make these last longer with Rune graft of the warp. And then there will be more audio for the video, and I will let it speak for the gameplay speak for itself. I'll let you watch and enjoy because I think it's that insane. I'm actually just zooming through the map, running simulator, and printing 30 divines per hour. We're not interacting with monsters. We're not interacting with barrels. We're just actually zooming, and then I'll show you the Atlas tree at the end if you want. I'll also put it in the description. I changed my Spectre for the vid. I was running the if you hadn't seen it, you should check out the Monsters Can't Move Blight Ravage with the new Spectre. But basically, I'm not running that Spectre anymore, and instead I'm running. Well, I will run it for Blight, but for this, I was running my 2 Carnage Chieftains, and then I ran the Perfect Forest Warrior, and then a Perfect Dark Reaper again. And it's because when you get Maven on your map, even though you didn't put Maven influence, a map mod can add Maven, and the Maven can heal the boss and Vitality Boon. And when you get the minions and you can't deal damage for 3 seconds plus some tank mods, the boss is healing, and so running the Perfect Dark Reaper to cut the healing is super huge. But the strat's insane. We're just zooming. We're just printing loot and exploding everything. And like I say, just ignoring the monsters mostly. The only time I really focus on them is when I'm spawning the Eater of Worlds monsters, because you want to get the altars. You gotta kill them sometimes to get the altar spawns, and then to try to get the divine altars, obviously, divine orbs. I didn't hit any in the vid, so the 30 divines per hour is without a divine altar, so you can imagine this could be even more than that. And you can see I just got a reality frag from the boss. So even though this boss doesn't drop the good fragments all the time, it drops them often enough that it actually adds quite a lot to the strategy. And then you still boss rush because you want to delete the boss altars. Since we're getting so many altars because we increased the pack size of the hordes of the Eater of Worlds, and we are using specific mechanics to increase the amount of altars we get while not ruining the Eater of Worlds spawns. There I finally fixed the 60 FPS. Soon I'll fix the audio, so you'll be able to hear the game, the explosions, the everything. It'll be much better. And then, yeah, I'll let the game speak for itself, but for the beginning, talk over it and go over everything. For the trades, I paused the game so that I didn't interrupt the recording, the gameplay. That's me alt-tabbing to do the the thing, yeah. But then, yeah, Rune Graft of the Warp is really sick in the T17s with the map mods. And I also started running Withering Step, you can see. So not just the Righteous Fire, but also Withering Step. Withering Step with automation. It gives you 9 Wither on a monster the first time it enters the area. So you get 9 stacks of Wither on the boss instantly. And it also lasts 3 seconds instead of 2, like a normal Wither. And then it's auto casting, and you also get elusive, and elusive is granting you a buff that makes it so you get phasing, but also I think it's that you have a chance to avoid damage, but the buff effect is reduced over the time. And then I also you could link it with Molten Shell as well, but instead of Molten Shell, I was running the Righteous Fire. And then you're wondering, how am I surviving the Righteous Fire? It's actually Righteous Fire of Arcane Devotion, and it's a 2120, so that it's a percent of my mana and not a percent of my life and ES. So I have a lot less mana than ES and life, about a quarter. So I take a quarter of the damage of the normal Righteous Fire, and then so it depends on how much life, mana, and ES you have, which one's better. And then on top of that, on this Withering Step automation, I run Life Tap so that it's using my life instead of mana, and that's how I can get away with 1 mana, and I don't actually use mana in my build, other than reserving auras. So then I was able to change my tree a little bit so that I could have just 1 mana. I didn't need to have exactly 1, but it was just that I don't need extra to cast abilities. And then if I put in Flame Dash with the Life Tab, I could do that off of life as well. And I also figured out that if you ever need to respawn your zombies or whatever, you could just put Life Tap on it. And it's actually better than having to take out all the support gems to lower the mana cost to be able to use it with your low mana, or unreserve auras and wait for the mana to regen with our low mana regen rate. And so you just do life with our high life regen rate and leech and whatnot. It's super sick. I'll probably go and make a whole video about the build updates, but I wanted to mention them in the vid. Also, on the carry-on golems and the specters, I put block chance reduction instead of withering touch, and it's because I wanted to remove block. And now that we have the withering step, we're stacking the wither more consistently, easily, without even doing any extra, except for the withering step that's auto-activating and getting in range of the monsters. You can see them glow green, and that's them getting affected by the withering step, which is 9 stacks of wither instantly. It's actually crazy. Since it's like 6% increased damage, chaos damage taken per stack, so it's like 54% increased chaos damage taken instantly on the monsters. It's really, really insane, really impressive. So it's a really big deal. And then, yeah, you could tell I still don't have the amulet. I'm still at 12 zombies, so you don't need a multi-mirror ammy. But you don't need it anyways after. It's just that obviously it'll be extra single target, extra damage, extra clear, because it's extra zombies. It's pretty nice. It reminds me of our old Baron build where we had 16. We'll be back at 16 zombies with that amulet upgrade. The gameplay audio is about to be enabled, and then enjoy the rest of the vid gameplay of me just zooming through maps.
change went well enough. Say exile.
So yeah, not to go over the farm, it's a monstrous lineage, like I said, 40% monster pack size. The hordes for the 40% increased pack size of influence monster packs. The 2 domination scarabs for extra shrines and quantity, the acceleration, etc. And then Scarab of the Elder to add Elder Influence, which then gets the increased pack size. Our tree is this. I learned that these are actually 4% and these are 3%, and I'm dumb. So I finally optimized the tree for Scarabs perfectly so that we grabbed the extra 4%. And this is what people meant, and I didn't understand. I also grabbed the extra Eater of Worlds invitations because they're like 150C. They went up and they're mispriced on everything, so they're worth more than you think. I also took Rampant Growth to get double Grand Eldritch Icors. And then, yeah, I took all the Scarab chants. We're still Shrines. Block all the Leg Mechanics to increase your good Scarab. And then I also grabbed the extra 10% pack size of Elder. It's really sick. Obviously, we have the extra 20% pack size of the Eater of Worlds. And so that's where you could see that this is similar to what we did with the Scarabs. And then we have the extra increased pack size of monster packs, as magic monster packs as well, which also interacts with shrines because the shrines get at least 1 magic pack per shrine. And so then the magic pack is bigger because of that. And then it's a really fun tree. And then I'm still running only 1 favored map slot so that when I run singular focus, basically I'm deleting all the maps into basic currency, which is really fun. If you've ever run the Elder Influence, like the video, and if you guys like the video and you're new to the channel, hit that bell, hit the subscribe button to get notifications, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye!